Just to recap the game yesterday, obviously some good things to take away. Showed the players a lot of good things in the meeting this morning. Offensively, really good connection, I thought, with the passing game, with a lot of different parts to our passing game. Obviously Cole did a really nice job. Some connections with Claypool. Obviously the big passes, we were excited about that. Obviously the throw to EQ was beautiful. It was a really nice throw. Really appreciate the height and accuracy of that pass. That was really good. And obviously the one to Harry, I appreciate the catch. The catch was really remarkable to hang on to that. So that was really good. Running game was solid. And then really the most important thing that I thought for us was the protection. The protection for us, and what gave Justin Fields a clean pocket and to be able to operate the offense correctly was probably the most impressive thing that we had, that we saw progress from that. So it was really good. Defensively, obviously playing with a lot of young guys, a lot of backups. 4 out of the 5 guys in nickel in the secondary were backup guys. Really appreciate those guys. Blackwell, Jalen, all the guys that were in there, DHC, Elijah, they did a really nice job, and did our game plan the way we wanted it to be done, focused and did a really good job of tackling in the secondary. I thought tackling was better from the previous game. You could see that with Jack Sanborn, we wanted to lower his target level. Obviously tackling 2 really good backs. I thought we did a really good job for the most part. That was good. And then the other side of it was, on defense, didn't get any takeaways. So that was the big thing. We lost the takeaway battle 3-0. Hard to win a football game when you lose that battle, for sure. But overall, the defense played good for 3 quarters and a half. So I was pleased with that. And obviously, the finish of the game, we got to learn how to finish. We got to learn how to finish better. There's execution, taking care of the football. Finishing drives, we were all at the game yesterday. We all saw it. So, but again, a lot of highlighted things to take positives from and move forward from there. But open up to questions from there.
Aside from the 55-yard touchdown run that Justin had, he didn't do as much running, either designed or off script, as he's been doing lately. I'm just curious from your overview how you would kind of describe how yesterday went from that standpoint.
Yeah, I just think that as the flow and ebb and flow of the game was going, I think that we were passing it so good. I think that we were going with that more, and I think that was the right thing to do. I know we had the design counter. We all saw that play. That was nice where he slid down right before the first. He's got to do a good job there. But I thought he did a nice job of that. I thought that was really the main reason, but no other reason than that. We ended up using a couple of wildcat plays. Because we're trying to go with that in the future, to take some hits off of Justin. I think that's a good idea in normal down situations. Because Justin's going to take the plays when he can, of course, but we want to use him in situations, red zone, 3rd down, 2-minute when the game's there where it needs to be to keep drives alive and score points. But he did a good job all day with that.
Is that a step in the direction you'd ultimately like to go, is kind of just reducing that a little bit and using it selectively?
Yeah, I mean, like I've said in the beginning for several weeks now, that we want to be very protective of Justin to make sure that he is out of harm's way. That's either by being smart by him, working to the sideline, working out of bounds or sliding correctly, or things like that, different designs that we might give our halfback, or you saw we did the thing to Velas, Velas had a toss sweep, and all that. So it's good to spread the skill around and utilize them when we need those situations.
When you get the long ball to Harry, and then you check down for -2 and you run twice, and then you're kicking the field goal. Were you okay with those play calls? And was there a thought that, okay, we got a little momentum in the pass game, let's keep going that way?
Yeah, I mean, you can always, criticize play calls. People, that's part of the game, right? That's, part of the fun of the media and part of the fun of the fans, of course. But the way I see it is that, those were good play calls. If you look at the execution of the run on the one on the 3rd down, if we kick out that, that 3 technique and run that trap the correct way, that thing is hit on the safety. So we just got to do a better job of that. I thought it was a good play call and good design.
That's when Tevin's pulling and the guy sheds him real quick.
On the 56-yarder, the one to St. Brown, how much did the block that he got from Alex Leatherwood, I think that was his first series that he played, How much did that factor into giving Justin a clean pocket?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. You know, and Alex played well. You know, he's first action in there. I think it was 10 plays. You know, so overall, a really nice performance by him, and it doesn't surprise us. You know, we're anxious to get him in there and see how he would do, but it doesn't surprise us because he's had great maturation in the system. You know, working inside and outside, and he did really well in practice. So we saw it in practice. So we were expecting it to see it in the game, but we were excited to see it.
Did he play well enough that now you want to see him in a full game when you guys come back?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We're gonna, you know, obviously this is a big part for us this next few days to evaluate, you know, the process. And we're gonna do a self-scout from New England all the way to now to see where we are personnel-wise, scheme-wise, what can we get better at. We did get a few things with the players, 2 or 3 things that players can get better at, so they can look at that on tape as they go about their business this week and come back to us next Monday. So, for sure, you know, certainly on a rotational basis, you know, I can say that for sure. We'll see where it goes from there, and then put our best guys out there.
That's a case where he may not be as good as Riley Reef today, but if he's Leatherwood, if he's playing well enough and he's young and could be part of your future, is that a decision you're willing to make to play him because of what it might gain you down the road?
Yeah, I mean, we're always looking at the guys. You know, it was great to look at a lot of those secondary pieces yesterday, and it's certainly good to look at Alex in that same way. You know, so we'll let it grow naturally and let it see where it goes in practice and see how he performs in the games. And if he keeps performing like he did, he'll get more reps and compete for that spot.
What did you see on the operation with the missed kicks? What were you able to glean from?
I thought the operation was good. I thought the extra point was good. You know, the snap, the hold was great. Protection was good. Didn't see an issue on that one. On the field goal, didn't see an issue. You know, we were a little light inside. Braxton was a little light in there on his inside gap. He could have been firmer in there. But again, from that distance, you know, with pressure only coming, really no penetration, just pressure from the line of scrimmage, that ball needs to be kicked up a little bit higher and needs to be made. The hold snap and everything was really good.
Yeah, how much of the inability to finish these games is on Justin? Because like with the Packers yesterday, they gave a lot of credit to Rodgers for their, you know, those last few drives, even though most of it was on the ground. It was just Rodgers being in the huddle and, you know, setting up the defense and knowing what's going on. And I know they're at opposite ends of their careers, but a lot of times the quarterback is seen in those situations as more than just 1 of 11. So at this point, given he's early in his career, at what point, how much of finishing is really on Justin making it happen?
Well, it's the nature of the position, right? I mean, that's what it is. You know, the quarterback, you know, gets a lot of things that are put on him, you know, in terms of praise and everything when everybody's blocking in front of him, clean pocket, you know, the receiver's running the correct route and all the positivity that, a lot of that goes to the quarterback. You know, the media puts it there, the fans put it there and all that, but really it's all 11 guys. And it's the same thing with the criticism, right? It all goes to the quarterback. Well, it's not warranted that way because it's all 11 guys, you know, so it's a team game, you know, and to me it is, because if you don't have all the guys doing the same thing at the same time, the right way, it's hard to execute. It just really is. So to me, it's all 11. And again, certainly our quarterback is running in the huddle. He's running the plays, and he'll be a big instrumental part to our success in the future. And we're getting him in those situations, and he's doing a good job. I thought the 2-minute operation was much better to me in terms of the operation of it. You know, it looked crisp, it looked clean, pocket was clean, ball was out on time. When you look at both of those drives, and to me, it looked a lot better.
But do you see him as a guy who can develop, a quarterback who can develop into the guy who wills performance out of his teammates, gets the wide receiver to come back and block and knock that ball down, or make the block, or, you know what I'm saying, that wills performance? Is that what it takes to turn these losses into victories?
Yeah, that's a good point, and I would say yes. I believe that to be true. I know the man inside after being with him for a year, and the grit he has and the talent he has. No question, he's going to get it done.
The interception, you had mentioned that, like yesterday, you said that's a trust throw. That's for Justin and where he's at in his career, how do you get a quarterback comfortable in making a throw like that? And just like weighing the risk and the reward of what could be an interception, or just like being able to rip that throw, like you
Yeah,
said?
like I said before, I think it's time on task. I think it's time on task. The linebackers were squeezing in, to the check down on that play. That was a wide open window there, for him to rip that throw in there, that timing throw. So it's just the rhythm and timing of it, and it's the connection between the receiver and the quarterback. Has to be good there.
I saw a package the other day with Justin Jones out at D end. What made you initially want to try him out there, and what did you like about the front four as a whole with that package?
Yeah, so Justin's, when he was in with the Chargers, obviously played along the line, which is great, and that's why we liked him. He could play. He played 5, he played 9, he played 3, he played 1. He played all the techniques, there. And that was very intriguing to us. And we like a bigger guy out there sometimes at left end. That's a big. If you go ahead and look back at the past where I've been, we've had guys that are 285, 290 at that left end spot. And that to me should be a thumper guy. At times in the run game. So we just thought, for him to utilize him because we have some depth at tackle to be able to have a bigger guy at end to be able to play the run a little bit more solid over there. And he's done a good job. He can do all the movements and do all the different things. And he's a solid rusher out there too. So that's why we did it.
I know there's that saying, you are what your record says you are, but as you head into this bye week, what are you proud of so far this season? What do you feel like that you guys have accomplished in the big picture?
Yeah, just laying the foundation. I think that's evident to everybody who watches our games. The foundation we're laying in terms of how we play, the intensity which we play. You can see a spirited team out there, a team that perseveres through adversity, which is what you need. We're trying to build championship habits. I keep telling the guys that. It's championship habits. Every single week, 1 week at a time. And that's what we're trying to build because we're building a champion. And that's what we're doing. So it's very important for us to go about the process of that. So that's what we're most proud of. The culture is there, the way we treat each other with respect. Guys work their tail off every single day, and that's what I'm most proud of. And our coaching staff has done a great job of leading the group, early on. And now we're starting to see the leadership of the team. We can see those guys starting to rise up, like Justin and different guys on the team.
Two more. Fields, his interception total and his interception rate are up there, particularly in the fourth quarter. As a coach, what's your overview of that, and how do you get that?
Yeah, it's just about making good decisions. It's good, good decisions. Obviously, that in the last part of the game, obviously making those great decisions, and he's going to do that. It's a process of learning and getting better, and again, he'll get that done.
Your advice to the players when you guys dispersed for the bye, do you want them completely getting away from football? Do you want them focusing on some stuff here and there? Like what kind of?
Yeah, so like I said, 2 or 3 things to get better at. Obviously decompress, a little bit. Get with family. Take some time off, but then spend some time. Spend a couple days there. Start thinking about what you're going to get better at, and then watching some tape. I want you to watch some tape. Guys, coaches will send the cut-ups to them to make sure that they're watching the right things. And hey, this is what you need to improve. This is what we're talking about, and then how we're going to get better at as a partnership. And that's the biggest thing we always do in bye week. We have to improve our schemes. We're going to look and see what we've done the last several games and what we're going to do the last 4 games.
Jalen Johnson was asked if he's a Pro Bowl player, and I think he said he feels he's a Pro Bowl caliber player, but doesn't think he'll get the recognition because he just doesn't have the picks, and the team is 3-10. Can you put his season into context as it relates to that kind of honor?
Yeah, I would just say that for any player to be able to get into that discussion, your unit has to play really well. Number one. So if you have a top unit, then your name starts to get tossed in there more. And then as an individual, because I believe that to be true, that you get more recognition when your unit plays really good. The second thing is that you have to have individual stats. You got to have, at that position, you got to have picks. You got to have deflections. You got to have tackle really well in the secondary. So that's what I would say about that.
Thank you, Matt.